Hello friends, welcome back to Knowledge Bandara. I'm glad to be back again. This week I'm presenting Awaken Your Photographic Memory by Greg Frost. This week I made this video in two parts because of the length of the video. Memory is an incredibly valuable asset for humans. Our memories contribute greatly in our day-to-day functioning and our ability to function in societies. Sadly, many people fail to recognize the immense power of their memories. Without taking steps to sharpen it, they let it work at a minimum level, unaware of the countless opportunities that await them with a sharp memory. Like a computer that hasn't been used for years, their memories will quickly deteriorate and eventually fail. If you value your memory and wish to greatly improve it, then you will just have to spend some time working with your mind. As you practice, you will quickly sharpen your mind, and remembering things will be breeze for you. So let's get into the video. I will classify this book into three parts to understand it better. Firstly, we will learn about the science behind the photographic memory. Is photographic memory something you can achieve, or is there any age limit? And how does one become absent-minded? Keep forgetting your bike or car keys, or are you the one who keeps forgetting what was taught in school and colleges and forgetting what you read? Secondly, we will learn some of the techniques to improve our photographic memory. Finally, we will see what natural memory boosters are and what lifestyles one should follow to achieve them. This book was written with specific skills and techniques that will give you a shortcut to achieving a photographic memory. These skills are based on scientific research and observations of human mind. This helps you convert any information into easy to understand format for your brain to store. In simple terms, this book will convert any information that you wish to remember into a print photograph that your brain easily can understand and store. Are you wondering if photographic memory is right for you, or if you think photographic memory is a practice for the younger generation? As we age, our brain cells deteriorates and diseases related to old age affect our ability to recall information. However, it is not true. Regardless of age, we are still dependent on recalling information to live our daily lives. In today's world, we also need to be able to process multiple thoughts and memories at the same time. So let's get into the lesson number 1, the science behind photographic memory. Encoding information is the first step in the memory process. It is a biological process that is rooted in your senses and is the first step in creating memories. Memory is encoded and stored in the form of electricity and chemicals. When a memory is called upon, nerve cells interact with other cells across a gap called synapse. All actions happening throughout your brain occurs at these synapses, where electric pulses carrying messages leap across the gaps between the cells. As the leaping is happening, chemical messengers called neurotransmitters are triggered and released simultaneously. Each brain cells can form thousands of connections, leading to the creation of 100 trillion synapses in a typical brain. How does one become absent-minded? When our car keys become missing or pens disappear, we often attribute these occurrences to simple absent-mindedness. Whenever people forget something, they tend to attribute it to being forgetful or to pure absent-mindedness. Absent-mindedness occurs when a person fails to pay attention to what is happening around him. For example, when a man forgets where he placed his glasses. The initial problem was that he wasn't focusing on the moment where he placed them down. As such, no connection was made in his brain as to where the glasses were placed. Without securing the proper information on where he placed his glasses, his brain could not retrieve this information. When a person is preoccupied with too many things, he easily gets distracted and will not be able to focus on all the things that he has to remember. While you are multitasking, your conscious mind is actually processing and focusing on something else other than what you wish to remember. This naturally results in being absent-minded or being forgetful. Some people think that there is only little space left in their minds for the storage of more information. Though this is very natural concern, the author asserts that we are nowhere near the maximum capacity of our memories. The reason we keep forgetting things is not because there is a little space left in our memories, but rather because our memories are not properly stored in the first place. In the next lesson, we will see some of the techniques to develop natural photographic memory. Some of these are universal. They can be applied to literally anything you wish to remember. Technique number 1, association. All our memories are based on association. The basic rule of this technique is this: you can easily remember any newly acquired information if it is associated with something that you already know or familiar familiar with. Take for example, we all have difficulty remembering the geographical shapes of countries like Russia or Greece. If we associate anything with the shape of that country, it would be easy for us to recall. What about Italy? Perhaps you have already made an immediate association with a boot. Why? Italy's shape is one that resembles a boot. So, when asked to recall Italy's shape, you would naturally think of a boot. It is actually very hard to forget something once you have made an association with it. Try this method from today onwards when you see new things. Technique number 2, the link. The association method is just a small portion of the link system that we are about to learn here. You see, when you are associating different pieces of information together, you are basically linking them up one by one to form memory chains. These chains help you to remember each and every item. The 4 rules in the link system are substitution, out of proportion, exaggeration, and action. Substitution means replacing an item with a different item to make a connection between the two. For example, if you were asked to remember an aeroplane and a tree, what you could do is to substitute the characteristics of aeroplane for those of a tree. So you could perhaps think of a gigantic tree flying in the air instead of an aeroplane. Through this, you remember the tree and the aeroplane at the same time. What about out of proportion? Try to magnify the items you want to remember as much as possible. If there was an ant and an elephant standing in front of you right now, which one would catch your attention more? The mind naturally pays more attention to larger objects. So by enlarging the items in your mind, you will be able to remember them better. Next, exaggeration. Exaggerate your item as much as possible to make it memorable. Remember the tree and the aeroplane. When you try to visualize it, think about millions, billions, zillions of gigantic flying trees. Chances are you will be so captivated by that scene that your mind will pay particular attention to it. Next, actions. Our mind works very much like a video recorder. It is more fine-tuned when we think about the actions. Dramatic action is always easier to remember than static pictures. A series of actions becomes a movie in your head, which makes it much easier for you to store and later retrieve your memories. Let us go back to the zillions of flying trees. You can perhaps imagine them flying past you and you dodging them to prevent yourself from being hit. Can you see how you can remember a tree and an aeroplane so easily after using these techniques? I think it would be difficult for you to forget them even if you wanted to. Write a list of 10 unrelated items and try to remember them using the association and link techniques. You may come across a little difficulty when you try for the first time, but be assured that this is normal. This process gets easier as you practice more. Thank you for watching. In the next part, we will see snapshot technique and its variants. It is the actual technique for photographic memory, and also I'll highlight some of the natural memory boosters. In this week book recommendation, I would recommend How to Win Friends and Influence People. This book teaches us how you can connect with people, how you can influence a decision, how you can lead the conversations. This book offers 30 principles for making friendship instead of enmity, for winning deals instead of quarrels and disagreements. I strongly recommend this book for all sales professionals. So that's it. See you in my next video. Bye.